The caller repeated what she said to her as she held the phone to her ear. "Suspended?" she asked, surprise evident in her voice. There was never a problem with her son's behavior. His respect for everyone around him rarely led to altercations. "Why?" asked the worried mother. After many years of struggle, everything had been going so well. As soon as she heard why he was suspended, she knew she had messed up. The whole thing was supposed to be harmless. As a woman, she needed to feel good about herself, so she embarked on this project. Her age and the fact that she had no romantic ties left her feeling like no one wanted her. With her phone in hand, she stood in front of the mirror in her bathroom. She found it easier to click on the camera icon. If only she had known how it would end. The Lux Hotel, Tennessee, had been Kimberly Thompson's workplace for years. While struggling to feed her 13-year-old son, Cody, and make ends meet, she yearned for times of respite. As a single mom, balancing work and family was no easy feat. A life without a partner made the cold nights even more miserable. It wasn't her intention for any of this to happen. She couldn't help but feel stuck after working as a receptionist for 6 years. Kim and Cody lived in a rundown apartment just outside Jamestown, something she always wanted to change. However, things were not going well for her, and of late, her self-esteem was suffering due to the stress and exhaustion of her job. The situation would soon change. In the middle of a cold Friday night, the single mom took a few photos of herself and uploaded them to Instagram. Since she hadn't uploaded in over a decade, she simply wanted to feel better about herself. There was a light rain outside, and Cody was fast asleep. Standing in front of the mirror in her bathroom, Kim wore one of her remaining lovely dresses. Her photo surprised her by receiving more attention than she expected. On Saturday morning, she awoke to the sound of a buzzing phone and a steady stream of likes and comments. What was going on? She uploaded some more photos, thinking it was a fluke. According to the response she got, maybe she was too hard on herself. There were so many likes and comments on her phone that it almost crashed. It didn't take long for companies to contact her. It was requested that she sponsor makeup, while others requested that she pose in their apparel. Kim couldn't even consider turning down the money these companies offered. It had always been common knowledge for her that everyday people promoted products. Never in her wildest dreams did she think it would be so simple. She earned more than what she earned at the Lux, which was enough to move her and Cody out of their cramped one-bedroom apartment. The two of them even moved to a better school district after Kim promised that their lives would never be the same again. She should have known that such things had a limit. As sponsorships poured in, Kim accepted all of them, despite continuing to work as a receptionist. Her daytime job would be as a receptionist, and her nighttime job would be as an influencer. Her content began shifting as the days passed. Initially, she was unaware of it. The consequences of her decisions wouldn't take long to become evident. The promotion of jackets, bags, and pants evolved into wearing provocative underwear. Nevertheless, as a mom and a new respected member of her neighborhood, Kim made sure that her photos were presentable, everything was tasteful, and she didn't show more skin than was necessary. Despite this, even the strongest of wills can be impacted by money. The photos Kim took became more seductive as time went on. Despite being aware of the danger, she continued on the path she had chosen. She just couldn't pass up the opportunity to make money. As she convinced herself that everything was harmless, she continued to do so. Additionally, she was able to provide for Cody in the best way possible. During a trip to Santorini, she made a decision that dramatically brought everything to an end. She had been asked by many of her followers on Instagram if she had a spicy account with more explicit photos. Despite hearing about a few of these platforms, Kim wasn't too fond of them. The insistence of her followers piqued her interest, however. What if this was what her family needed? Content creators on these spicy platforms were making so much money that it left the mom speechless. However, such drastic measures had consequences, and Kim was prepared to learn about them. But every photo she uploaded to her Instagram had the same question in the comment section. Did the same content exist in an explicit form? She wasn't sure what the right move was. It was time for Kim to bite the bullet and open an account on OnlyFans. In keeping with her signature style, she didn't show more than necessary in a test run of racy photos on the platform. Her pictures were spicier than those on Instagram, which brought in more followers. A week later, her actions were beginning to show their effects. The first effect was a change in the number of followers she had. In the days before she started the racy account, Kim had more than 10,000 Instagram followers. However, the number had now exceeded 100,000. After stepping back, she analyzed everything. Did she make a mistake by going down this rabbit hole so far? Is it still harmless if scores of her intimate photos are now available online? Kim rationalized that the photos didn't show her in a full-on nude state. As far as she was concerned, this was fine. In addition to increasing her follower count, she attracted more companies that wanted to work with her. With the money and attention, she became addicted, pushing the boundaries of what she once considered safe and harmless. Neither she nor Cody realized the danger they were in. The public would soon discover what she was doing once someone in her or Cody's circle recognized her. Kim was confident that she would be contacted by one of her colleagues at work if such a day came. She was shocked when Cody's principal called to explain why he was suspended. She received the call at the most inconvenient time. Having lunch with some of her Lux friends, Kim was happy that things were finally looking up for her. After feeling her phone vibrate inside her bag, she reached for it, curious as to why the school was calling her at such a strange time. She answered the phone with knitted brows. Kim's experience was that schools calling parents or guardians in the middle of the day were a bad sign. There was something wrong, and all she needed was confirmation from the caller. While she tended to the matter, one of her friends would take over her post for the afternoon. It was impossible for her to guess what the call was about. "Hello, Ms. Thompson." As soon as the caller spoke, Kim recognized their voice. "Mrs. Moore," she spoke calmly. The principal didn't mince words. "We need you to come to pick Cody up in the next hour," she said. "Why?" answered Kim. Was there something wrong with her boy? "Is he all right?" "He is, for the most part," Principal Moore sounded angry. "But the school is suspending him for the time being." Kim was interrupted by the principal, who said, "I can't speak about the reason over the phone. I was hoping to have you here in the afternoon." She drove to Cody's school with her mind racing. Among the kids she knew, her son was among the best behaved. His respect for everyone around him prevented him from getting into any altercations. What was happening? It took Kim 30 minutes to pull into the school's driveway. With trimmed hedges and manicured lawns, this school was quieter and more pristine than Cody's last school. Kim was left breathless by the architecture, which appeared straight out of a Victorian-era city. Beauty was all around her, but she didn't have time to appreciate it. It was important for her to reach her son. The teachers at the massive school spoke more refined English than Kim had ever heard before. She was led to Principal Moore's office by one of the employees. As Kim approached the principal, she found Cody seated before her. Tears filled his red, puffy eyes. Searching for injuries, she hurried down to him, her gaze bouncing from one part of his body to another. "What's happening here?" she asked worriedly. What was the reason for her son's crying? "Bullying, Ms. Thompson," the principal answered. As she handed Cody a tissue, she asked him to wait outside. Despite Kim's protests, Cody was not leaving, especially not in the state he was in. Her first look at Principal Moore made her realize this was a much more serious situation than she had anticipated. "Wait for me outside, Cody," she said, kissing the top of his head. "I'll be out in a minute." She watched the interaction with knitted eyebrows before gesturing toward a chair. "Please," she said. Kim sat down, albeit half-heartedly. Her son had been brought here because this was supposed to be one of the best schools in the city. The last thing she expected was to find him in the principal's office, crying. Kim pleaded with Principal Moore, "Can you please tell me what this is about?" While typing on her computer, she turned the screen around. Kim felt her heart drop to her stomach, her throat burning with bile and shame. The principal opened her Instagram account and clicked on the link that led to Kim's spicy corner. This is a respectable institution, Ms. Thompson," the principal commented. "We are built on Christian values that every one of us here upholds. Whether you are a student, staff, or guardian doesn't matter. You must uphold these values. What you do in your time is your business," she continued. "I don't judge. But it becomes everyone's problem when it all blows out of proportion." Kim adjusted her seating position after taking a deep breath. Her online history led to the school suspending her son? I know you're wondering why we've suspended Cody. It's because of all this. She didn't stop there. One of the teachers reported that Cody had been bullied endlessly. We don't know how they found your content. We're investigating it. Upon learning Kim's content, the school board decided not to allow her son to attend the school, according to the principal. In order to prevent him from being expelled, the principal suggested a 2-week suspension. Your boy has been suffering, Ms. Thompson, she said. He rarely concentrates in class, always eats alone in the cafeteria, and has no friends. There's only one thing you can do if you want to save him. It was only a matter of time before Kim would receive an ultimatum. You need to stop all this, the principal said. You'll be giving up a lot, I gather, she added, shifting her glasses. But the board won't keep Cody here if you keep putting out such content. Kim remained silent. Cody's future could be at risk because of money. Would she be able to keep him in such an expensive school if she gave up her activities? In her ignorance, her story spread throughout the neighborhood. As the backlash rolled toward her, she was determined not to live this life for another day.